Hello everyone, and welcome. Well, finally found time for an overnighter. Been a while. I started that new job, and for the first couple of weeks I was there, it snowed every weekend, so I had to stay and plow. And there's a couple of weekends where we had our grandson for the weekend. I mean, it's a no-brainer. If the option is come out camping or spend time with the grandson's going to win every time. But I finally have a weekend that's free and clear. So, I packed up the sled. I'm about to put on my backpack. And we're going to head down the trail. Now that was a lot of work. Whew. When I got to the trail that I turned down to come this way, somebody had been here not long ago with a snow machine, and somebody else walked in behind them. And then there was just a little fluff of snow that fell after that. So I knew underneath was packed solid. So I didn't bother putting on the snowshoes. That trail ended maybe 150 yards from where we are. And I decided, I haven't had to put the snowshoes on so far. Snow just up to my knees. It was a long, hard pull. That's why you never see me wearing a big jacket when I'm out here. It's always just a t-shirt, a shirt, and a light sweater. I have my jacket packed away if I need it, but I'd rather be dressed a little bit cooler than to be too warm, because you don't want to sweat. Too much sweat eventually leads to being cold. That being said, that was a hard haul. I'm starting to sweat now, so I'm just going to take a little break, let myself cool down, and then I'm going to bust out the shovel. In here, under these trees, the snow's not that deep. So I'm going to take the shovel, and I'm going to shovel out an area here so I can set up the tent. So while I'm catching my breath, have a look at my view. I'm tucked inside the trees, but I'm right by the water. All that clear area down there, that's a river that flows through here. Quite often, when I'm out here in the woods, I find strange things hanging in trees. I just found a lure. So I've shoveled out an area that I think is big enough for the tent. Once I get the tent down, I can fine-tune a few spots if I need to. Now, there's an area in the center here where I dug right down to the ground. Some of you are probably wondering why, because most people will just put on their snowshoes, camp down an area, set up the tent, throw in the stove, call it good. The cut that I use, it's happened to me once or twice now, where I get that stove pumping so hot it melts the snow out of one side of the cot, and then the cot tips and wants to slide into the stove. Well, last thing I want is to roll into the stove in the middle of the night. So I dig right down to the ground. Doesn't matter how hot I get that stove, that cot is not going to move. So the tent is up, the cot's set up. All I have left to do is blow up my air mattress, but it's still early. I think I'm going to do that a little bit later. But right now, I got to get this fire going just so that I can keep my insulin from freezing. So I've got the stove burning, but I've got it damped down quite a bit. I'm letting it burn just low and slow, just enough to keep it warm enough to stop my insulin from freezing. But now I want to go out and see if I can find a bit of wood for an outside fire. But of course, as I want to do that, it's starting to snow. Not a lot. They're only calling for light flurries, which is why I was able to come out. So it shouldn't last very long, but I still don't want to take the camera out there and get it wet. I did, however, buy myself a GoPro over Christmas. The mic on these things is not the best. So I'm going to try and avoid speaking. I'm just going to wear the GoPro and we're going to go out and we're going to collect a little bit of birch bark and some firewood. Whoever said winter camping was easy had no idea what they were talking about. Last time I talked to you it was 1:30 and I said I was going to collect some birch bark and get a bit of firewood, get ready for the outside fire. Well, I strapped on the snowshoes, walked out this way, got some birch bark, went walking around in the woods back there, found some logs, came out, broke them up, piled them here, went back out, got some more, came back, broke them up, got them here. I cut a little bit more for the inside, just to be on the safe side. But I did about 3 trips back and forth, walking around back there, gathering some branches and some twigs to get it started, and gathering some firewood. Then I decided, while I had the snowshoes on, I may as well, that trail that I struggled, the snowmobile trail ends on the other side of this clearing. So I basically just had to come across this clearing, and I struggled to get here. So while I had the snowshoes on, I walked back and forth a couple of times just to pack it down in the hopes that overnight it'll freeze and it'll be a little more solid in the morning and I'll be able to walk on it without so much of a struggle. But that all started at 1:30, and here we are. It's almost 4 o'clock. I say it's time for a Hup City barking squirrel. Oh. Put my gloves back on because it is a little cool out here. It's not crazy cold today. It's -5 Celsius. And tonight I think it's only going down to -10. Nothing ridiculously cold. This winter's been weird. A couple of warm days with some snow, turning to really cold, like -30 cold for a couple of days, and then warming up again and snow, and warm, cold, warm, cold. Some of the snow has just been little flurries. Other times we've had some pretty good storms. Well, it's given me plenty of practice plowing and using the loader to remove the snow. Got me quite a bit of practice time in the sand truck too. I am enjoying the new job. I think it's going to work out great. So far, everything's going well. Couple of little bumps along the road, but we put a brand new bumper on one of the trucks and black post on a dark morning. I put a little ding in the new bumper. Yesterday I was in the other truck and plowing an area that I'm not really familiar with. I haven't plowed it before, and backed into a gate, broke the tail light. The guy at work that I'm going to be replacing is also the guy that reached out to me about taking the job. He has been talking to me about it a few times, and I wasn't really interested. And then just after New Year's, he called me up and said, "I'm coming to pick you up and I'm going to show you what the job is about before you say no." So I went and had a look, and I decided to try it. He's also a subscriber. And yesterday when we were leaving work, he says, "Last weekend you got stuck having to plow, and I got to go play in the woods. This weekend they're just calling for light flurries. I don't think we're going to need to plow. So you better get out there and make a video because I need to watch something new." So these flurries seem to be getting a little heavier. I really hope you don't have to go plow. But thanks for letting me come out for the weekend. And while I'm at it, a big thanks for getting me into that job. I think it's going to be a really good fit. I think I'm going to really enjoy it. Oh, but now, that's enough about work. I'm here to forget about work, not talk about work. and enjoy this light little snowfall and enjoy this fire. Oh, and one last thing about work. We got a crow that follows us around and wants us to feed it all the time. I think I just saw him fly by. He may have followed me. Well, I've retreated to the tent. I blew up my air mattress. And I stuck it on the cot underneath the sleeping bag. So we're ready for the night. I've got my pillows. I've got my book. I've got a headlamp for reading. I think we're all set. Now it's time to get ready for supper. First things first, a little bit of water. Trusty cutting board. 2 potatoes that I pre-washed at home. Now we're going to put the steamer insert in. And to go with the potatoes, I have, yellow beans. Now some of these are already a good length to fit in there, or curled enough to go in. Let's put the cover on you. And we're going to set that on the stove. Close to the pipe as we can get it, and that should start boiling sometime soon. Now I've got my handy dandy frying pan, and a stick of butter. And I put some of this butter into the pan. Let's add the onion in there. And get that going. This time I remembered to bring some paper towel. Wipe off the knife. Wipe down the cutting board. brought some mushrooms. I'm just going to let those onions start to cook down a little bit, and then we'll toss the mushrooms in there. And we have a top sirloin grilling steak. So we're going to open this up. I brought a little bit of olive oil. Drizzle a bit of that on there. And this is garlic powder, Montreal steak spice, a bit of smoked paprika, and a little bit of lemon and herbs. So we're going to put some of that over the steak. Turn that puppy over. And do the same to the other side. Those onions are cooking nicely. I'm going to add in the mushrooms. And now that the mushrooms are in there, I'm going to add a little bit of this spice to the vegetables. Perfect. That is already starting to smell really good. Mushrooms and onions are pretty much done. Time to toss in that steak. Oh, love that sizzle. But it's getting warm in here. As soon as I'm done cooking, I can damp down that stove and then it won't be so bad, but whew. For now, it's hot. Well, I think this steak's been cooking long enough. And I've already taken off the potatoes, and I've gone outside and drained them. Whew, that's a little hot. I need a stick. There we go. Oh yeah, I feel the heat coming off of that. Okay, let's damp this stove down a little. Get our handy dandy biodegradable fork. Compliments of Anne's school. Let's get those waxed beans in there. And then we got to figure out a way to... I got a way. Here. Let's just dump everything in. Peel the bowl out after. That worked. Oh yeah, those carrots are, they're carrots. Bleh, potatoes are perfect. Oh, they're falling apart. And they're hot. Oh, the wax beans are delicious. Why do I always have to put everything in my mouth while it's still hot? Okay, that was really good. Let's cut a little deeper into the center of the steak to see. Oh, perfectly done. Oh, Oh, that is excellent. All right, well, I'm going to devour this. And we'll see you in a little while. Well, that was delicious. I put some water back into that fire maple pot just to warm it up. I've wiped out the pan as best I could. Now I'm going to put the pan on, pour that warm water into the pan. No point wasting. That has rinsed out the pot. And because I brought paper towel, I'm going to wipe out the inside. And that should get rid of most of the starch, and I won't have any potato starch in my coffee in the morning. All boiled clean. Or as clean as it'll get, anyway. Bring that pan to a bit of a boil. And then I can go pour that outside and wipe that down as well. You might be wondering, well, after a nice meal, what's he gonna have for dessert? Well, Anne was in town the other day and she found one of these. It's a creme brulee dessert stout. Let me see if I can find my glasses. It's a stout with a burnt sugar and vanilla, dark, creamy, smooth. From Bowes Brewing Company in Van Cleek Hill, Ontario. She bought 2 of them and we taste tested one at home the other night. It's pretty good. Oh, yeah, that's perfect for a dessert beer. It's not something I would drink 2 or 3 of in an evening, but for just one, it is quite good. Oh, kick back, relax, and enjoy. This is one of the best parts of winter camping, is when all the work is done and the sun's gone down, nothing to do but relax. Hope you guys have a good night. We'll see you in the morning. Morning, everyone. Time for that all-important first sip. Ooh, it's hot. Oh, but so good. Oh, I think that's my favorite part of camping. Winter, summer, doesn't matter. Anytime I'm camping, that first cup of coffee in the morning before everybody's awake, before everybody's making noise. Oh, it's so peaceful, so relaxing. Oh. Well, all in all, it was a good trip. The last part of the walk in was a bit of a slog, but we got it. We got here. Next time, just put the snowshoes on. But I was at the point where I could see where I was going to camp, and I just, yeah, I can get there. I can get there. I got here. But it was a great night's sleep. A little bit warm. Oh. Yeah, it was a little bit too warm in that sleeping bag, almost. Almost. Opened up the bag just a little bit, and that did the trick. But I've got my wool blanket inside that sleeping bag again, and wow. That thing makes a lot of difference. It keeps it toasty in there. Oh. Last night was good. I sat here by the fire for a while and did a bit of editing. Turned on a speaker and listened to a little bit of music. Then I crawled into bed and read my book for a little while. Yeah, when I say little while, I mean like 1 page. I was tired when I went to bed. Oh, excuse me. Still waking up. Oh, but it looks like it's going to be a beautiful day out there. Sky seems to be clearing up. We had a little bit of flurries this morning, but nothing major. I flipped the sled upside down last night, just so that it wouldn't fill up with snow. And when I got up this morning, there's maybe that much. sitting on top of the sled. Oh. Oh. So odds are good. Nobody had to go in and plow while I was out here having fun. Oh. Oh, I love my morning relaxation. I don't get to do much of it during the week. I get up, I get ready, I go to work. So on weekends, I like to have my little downtime in the morning and enjoy my coffee. So all that's left now is to enjoy this coffee, relax a bit longer, and then start packing all this stuff up. Every now and again, Ann will mention, I don't know how you do it. Pack up all that gear, go all the way out there, set everything up, go to bed, get up in the morning, have breakfast, have a coffee, pack up and come home. That's a lot of work just for one night's sleep. And my answer is, it's not work. I enjoy coming out here. I enjoy shoveling out the area, setting up the tent. It's a lot of work, but to me it makes it worth it just to have the evenings sitting in the nice warm tent, relaxing. If I stay home, I don't relax. I fidget. I find something to do. I fiddle. I fart around. I come out here, there's nothing to do. So I sit and I relax. Oh. And I get to chat with you guys. It's a win-win. That's the only drawback, is these cups are just a little bit small. Oh, I guess that means I have to have another. And then I save just enough for one last cup after the final pack up. So I think I'm going to end things here. I want to thank you all for coming along. It's always a pleasure having you with me. And I want to thank you for all the likes, the comments, the shares. Everything helps. And I really do appreciate it. I try and get back to the comments as soon as I can. And I love reading them. So, if you liked what you saw, go ahead and hit the like button. If you want to see more of it, hit the subscribe button. And if you're going to do that, you may as well hit the notification bell. When you do, there will be a drop-down menu. In that menu, select all. That should let you know whenever we put out a new video. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.